Hello friends, welcome to the channel IT Simplified. In today's quick video, I'm here to talk about how you can correlate network bandwidth and data size in your organization as you strategize your data movement from on-prem to the cloud. So you have certain numbers to keep back of your mind as you architect and design this solution. Now, applications nowadays are generating massive amount of data and you need a space to put that data. It can be on your on-prem storage server, or you have this option of moving that to the cloud where you pay only for what you consume. So say for example, if I start with 10 gig of data, I pay for 10 gig only. And if that number goes to terabyte, I pay for terabyte only. It's all pay as you go model. And the beauty is that storage is one of the most cost-effective service in any cloud vendor, and there are different tiers that you can put the data in. And the reason why it is cost-effective is because most of the cloud vendors, including Azure, they want your data. Because once you move your data to the cloud, the chances are you're going to stick with that cloud, and maybe you will build and add more services on top of that, whether it's analytics or machine learning. And the data can be anything. It can be relational data, you can move backup sets, it can be video surveillance data or images, it can be any form, whether it's structured or unstructured. But the problem arises when you're trying to move that from A to B, from on-prem to the cloud, depending upon what bandwidth you have and depending upon what data size that you're trying to move. And I'm going to talk about specific example case so that you can correlate with your organizational need. So say for example, if there's a company which has a 45 Mbps of T3 uplink and they're trying to move a terabyte of data. Now in this case, on an average, it's going to take 2 days for this company to move the data from on-prem to the cloud. And if you bump that speed or bandwidth connectivity to 100 Mbps, it will reduce the data transfer time to 1 day. And if you're lucky enough to have a gigabit of speed, or maybe 100 or 10 gigabit per second, the time that you're going to take under 1 gig is going to be 3 hours, and it's going to be lightning fast within 10 gigabit per second, which is going to be 15 minutes only. So you see that there's a lot of variance or variation depending upon what kind of bandwidth you have and how much data you're trying to move. So let's take another example. Now, if you have 10 terabyte of data, keeping 45 Mbps of speed, on an average is going to take you a month. And if you have a 100 Mbps connection, it's going to take you on an average 2 weeks to move 10 terabyte of data from on-prem to the cloud. And same thing for 1 gigabit per second, it can be 1 day, and for 10 gigabit per second connectivity, it's going to be 3 hours. So you see, yes, you can move the data to the cloud, but if you're trying to move it online, depending upon the bandwidth connectivity that you have, you might want to choose between online data transfer or offline. Now, there are different options in Azure when it comes to offline data transfer. You can move that to or copy that to a disk, and then you can ship that to a nearest Azure data center, or you can order a data box. And there are also different categories. There is a data box and there is a data box heavy. Depending upon how much data you have, you can order it, and then you can copy that data from on-prem, and then you can ship that data to the cloud or to the nearest data center, and then they will transfer that data to the respective storage account. But depending upon what scenario you are and what bandwidth connectivity you have, you want to choose maybe offline or online. But at least depending upon what data sets and what kind of bandwidth or uplink connection you have, this gives you an idea about what option to choose from and how long it's going to take to move that data from your on-prem data center to the cloud. Hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.